Welcome to the Nomad Network, your first stop for complete and comprehensive Chicago Bears football coverage. Dive deep into analyses, updates, and all things Bears. Subscribe to our YouTube channel today and never miss a beat. Thank you in advance for your support. We promise to bring you the best because together we're unstoppable. Go Bears!
Yo, no maniacs. Welcome into another edition of Nomad at Night, man. I got my guys here with me, man. And guess what? Preseason dress rehearsals are all over with. Now we are starting to get to the nitty-gritty. We have already got some cut downs that coming in across the NFL. Chicago being one of the teams. Not every team so far has had any cut downs, but Bears being one of them. I think we're missing like maybe about 7 players or so at this point. So now it's about to, and I think in the next 24 to 48 hours, there's going to be a lot more players that's going to come off. So we're talking about like 30 more players that need to come off the team. So it's going to be a lot going on. They're going to designate some guys to the practice squad. Kid says he has his 53. He's got it all together. Trips has got a video out there as of now that he's got his 53-man roster projection. I do not. I am not as thorough as these two guys. I do not have a 53-man roster projection, but these two guys those projections will do here tonight because everybody's gonna have their point of view about who we should keep, who we should let go of, and we're gonna have that roundabout, I guess, in a few minutes here. But before we get to all of that, thank everybody for being here, and let's give out some pleasantries, Canuck. Let's have a nice little talk about it.
All right, so let's fix things up the way it should go. What it do, y'all? Sunday night, Nomad at Night. Thanks for showing up. We're going to talk 5-3. We're going to talk 5-3 again, likely later on in the week on Wednesday when things are finalized. But, y'all, let me give you a little bit of love for jumping in and showing out with us on a Sunday night after a fantastic game on Friday. Hey, it's Crimson. You dig? Holding it down right there out in the chat world. We got my guy King Booker World with the wrench, Crimson with the ranch, Liberty's Outlook. He's a super no maniac. You should be too. Hey man, we're just starting out on a Sunday. We've got we're just starting things out on a Sunday, man. But I got the opportunity to take a quick peek of my man underneath me's 5'3", and it looks a little bit like my 5'3", but I ain't got no problems with that. So Triple R, what do you got to say, man?
First of all, hello to everyone. And what Nomad alluded to earlier and kids just now, the 53-man rosters at Sports Chicago Style, which is my channel. Become a member, subscribe. Not a member, not yet, but subscribe because we're getting those numbers up to become a member. You heard. But we put out our 53-man roster predictions, projections, whatever you call them, and the practice squad. So I did one. Coach Tripping did one and Tripp did one, but Chef Trips, he's not into that. So yeah, there were some differences between the three of us that did them, very minor, but different nonetheless. And looking forward to seeing how ours match up, how yours, no maniacs, super no maniacs, how you all's, match with ours, and then what will be the actual results, come Tuesday. Looking forward to it.
Hey man, you know what? Tonight we're going to get into a few things, man. We're going to get into first how we thought the preseason went, ups, downs, in between, any of that kind of stuff. What we're gonna give give a pretty good introspective look at what we think this roster is, what we saw in this preseason, and be real honest about where we think we're strong, where we think we might have some flaws, and I'm sure we'll all have separate opinions about a whole bunch of different stuff, but that's why you come watch the show anyway, so we can all go back and forth about it all. But we'll do that. We'll also look at these cuts for the Bears. We'll look at the cuts from the other teams. Again, it's some notable names that already have been cut, and some notable guys that are on the bubble on different rosters. Some really, really good players have already been cut. And so some of the questions I got as far as depth in certain rooms, maybe, I don't know, we might get lucky enough to answer some of those questions that I have about the team in this waiver wire period. It's a certain amount of luck that we got to have, kids, in Triple R. But, if you're going to play that game, play that game. But if not, if you convince that you need something, to me, people need to be on the phone trying to make trades and stuff like that. Depends on what it is. You can't wait and gamble like that and depend on the waiver wire to deliver that talent to you. You got to go get the talent you need, like every other good team does. And so we'll see what's going to happen there, man. Also, man, you don't forget, you guys, membership is only 99 cents. I'm looking for the graphic right now. It's only 99 cents for anybody that wants to become a member and help out the channel. Thank you, kids. It's only 99 cents right now. Go ahead and grab your, everybody can afford a membership at this point. It's a reason why we're doing this is because the website is right here now. All I have to do is hit a button that says publish, and that website will be there. There's plenty of good merchandise there. Let me give you a quick example of a couple. Here's one. Bears Run Shit bomber jacket, man. This is going to be actually my first piece of merchandise. I'm going to order that. That's going to be the first thing I get. But not too long after that, I'm guaranteeing myself this. I'm just trying to decide what color of this I want. Kids is probably, I know how Kids is. He's probably wanting a black one. And I don't know if this thing comes across as well on the black as it should. But, Kids, what do you think about this?
I tested it out on black. I think you're right, man. I think it looks better on either. Like this is like a grayish. It's not really a white. The white looks dope. That's just my thoughts. So maybe I'll cop it in the true, tried, true, and tested white. It looks real good.
Yeah. So the reason for asking people to get memberships, because we want to pay the people back that's been supporting us all this time. Everybody that's subscribed to the channel, there's no reason why you just go ahead and grab your membership and get yourself a discount on this merchandise. Let us thank you for being supporters of ours. This is just our way to do it. Grab yourself a membership right now. Go to the channel, join the channel, become a member for 99 cents if you need to, $4.99 if you want to be really, really just appreciate us a little bit more. We will thank you for that. But go ahead and get yourself a discount, man. When this stuff comes out, people are going to want it. We want you guys to have your first hands on it. But without further ado, man, let me get to how you guys been doing, man? How about that? How you guys been, Kids, Triple R? I don't know who wants to go first. Let me go to you because I don't see Kids on the screen.
I'll let Trip go, man. I got a mouthful of food, but keep going.
Cooling. It was just saw y'all Friday night. Spent Saturday out with the shorties and their little football games. It was a beautiful day out, and then spent Sunday afternoon with the Sports Chicago style crew putting together that video, and here we are. So chilling, enjoying the weekend, looking forward to football, and trying to stay as lessly clad in clothing as possible before the wintertime gets here.
I don't think anybody needed to know that, but yeah. I'm with you. Once that winter kicks in, man, it's it ain't the same. So go al fresco if you can.
Hey,
you're the first.
Indeed.
Well, how about you, Kids, man? How's things been in Canada, man?
Much like the man said, we just kicked it on Friday. I'm all over the country right now, doing business left, right, and center. Spent a better day yesterday in the good old GTA in Canada. We call it the center of the universe, otherwise known as Toronto. hit up their awesome casino over there because I'm a degenerate and clearly I need to stop. It was dope. I made no money and I'm a little bit mad, but it was fun. So I had some fun, got out of there. And then like when you're in T-Dot, there's certain foods you can get in Toronto that you just can't get anywhere else in regular old Ontario, regular old Canada. So I grabbed a whole, hey, Ron Winarski's a member. Shout out to Big Ron. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ron, man. Yeah, you guys keep it coming. Thank you so much, Ron, man. We want to see as many of you guys as we can. We get half the people that are subscribed to the channel to grab $1 membership, 99-cent membership. We can pay all the bills, plus bring you a whole lot more content and better stuff. All we need is about half of y'all. We'll be fine. But thank you so much, Ron.
But yeah, so I had to hit up a couple of places. I know I'm supposed to be staying away from sugary foods, but so much for that. We got Krispy Kremes in Toronto. They don't have it throughout most of Ontario. So I had to hit up the Krispy Kremes and get a couple of donuts. And then I head over to some Caribbean spots to get some real live and direct Caribbean foods. And I don't know about y'all, but I have a feeling none of y'all know about doubles. If I say doubles, y'all know what doubles are?
That sounds like some Jamaican.
Double cheeseburger?
No, but I'll take one of those too. I wish that was on me. No, doubles, and I'll show I could probably go upstairs and grab one and show y'all. But basically, what it is, it's like a special type of pastry that is sort of sandwiched over top of curry chicken, curry beef, curry goat, and curry chickpeas.
Wait a minute. Is it like that shit I ate in Jamaica? I ate something called a double in Jamaica.
I have a strange feeling you didn't, because it's not a there's a reason I'm saying that. It's not a Jamaican delicacy, right? Okay. So the different Caribbean islands kind of have their different fare. This one is very specific to Trinidad as an island. As a Jamaican, I ain't even never heard of doubles up until much more recently in life, where I'm friends with and / family with Trinidadians. And Trinidad has a whole other take on Caribbean food that would throw you guys for a loop. They make breads. They just call it bake.
They make some beautiful women as well too.
Yes, they do, sir. Yes, they do. There's a higher concentration of Indian and Asian, as in like Chinese, etc., descendants that are also part of that population. And the mixture is very strange, but again, beautiful women, beautiful people, very just generally happy people, man. They're good-humored folks, whereas us Jamaicans are generally surly, angry people. It's weird, but we get along like nothing doing. Like that, we get along so well.
Did you visit? And I didn't meet a whole bunch of. There wasn't a lot of that going on when I was there.
Where a lot of surly, angry people?
I mean, you had a few little squabbles and little raised voices, but
you were either on the reservation, as in like on the at the resort, or you're in a good, like you were with some good folk. I'm just letting you. So Jamaica as a whole was colonized. It was a prison colony.
Well, hold on for a second, kids, because the king just became a member again. Shout out to
sir, King Booker.
Big up.
The king. He's the king up in this bitch.
King. But yeah, no, Jamaica was a prison colony, so that's why the people are just a little bit screw face and vex, as we would say in Jamaica. But in any event, grab some doubles. These things are awesome. If you're in Toronto, find yourself some doubles. Look up the Roti Hut. There's about 6 or 7 of them. Or Lena's. Lena's is another great spot. If you're in the GTA area, get yourself a double. Trust me, they are awesome. Every time I'm in Toronto, I grab me some doubles and bring them back. I get straight up, when folks hear I'm in Toronto, they call me and they literally order doubles. Dude, you got to bring doubles back for me. I'll throw you money. Bring me back. So I like a crate of doubles coming back home. But yeah, good stuff. That was my last 24 hours since we kicked it there, watching these guys beat the Kansas City Chiefs. But yeah, man, a little bit of doubles, a couple of donuts, and I'm back home safe and sound.
Nice.
All right, that sounds cool as shit.
Yeah.
Me, yeah, I'm the grill guy in the family. Tap me, but I volunteer for this, man. One of my little brother, man, he got on me. He was just like, man, one of my uncles. He got this nice house, you know, that he worked his ass off. You know, that man has been to jail, been to prison a couple, 2-3 times, got out, got back on his feet, and turned squared up business, man. You know what I mean? He drives trucks, and he's kind of retired from that now, man, because he's getting older and can't be doing that shit all damn day. And anyway, man, he was moaning and crying to my brother about nobody coming to visit and nobody hanging out with him. He's got this nice 9-foot professional billiards table down there that I love. Got a nice backyard, man. He's got a pool back there. You know, probably about 1,000 bikes and shit. Kids and grandkids be back there riding that shit. But anyway, man, I went over there, tapped my own self. I said, I just called him. I was like, I'm gonna come over there. We're finna bring the gang over, and you know, brought some family over with us, man. It's a few of us. Went over there and shot pool, you know, barbecue, threw some burgers, some chicken, hot dogs, just basic stuff, but you know, it was just cool hanging out with the family, talking shit, and he's always a shit talker. And he was doing a lot of that, drinking a few beers, man. We wasn't over there no hell of a long time, but some of you guys might be wondering why you didn't see any content come out of the channel, any shorts or anything like that. That's why I was off the reservation, man, just doing family yesterday. So it was cool, it was fun. Having a good time, talking shit, drinking Modelo.
Nice. And Naj, yeah, man, that's basically where I was at. I was in Mississauga. That's where I was holed up. Look for Lena's in Mississauga. Look for the Roti Hut further up in like North York. But yeah, man, you can get it out there for sure. Like there's no shortage of doubles in Toronto. I'll tell you that right now. Bad mojo, really? It's always good mojo in Jamaica, bro. Just gotta
go. Mojo Jojo.
You got to just vibe there, man. You got to vibe. You got to kind of turn off anything that comes with the United States. You just got to leave that shit right there at the goddamn passenger where you get on the plane and drop that shit.
Yeah.
And just go vibe. Just go vibe, man. I was easily plugged into some of the best culture I've ever seen in my life, man. It was so lovely. One of them probably end up writing a goddamn book about it. But I love Jamaica that much, man. So, yeah, but, man, let's get to this bear stuff, what people came here to talk about. And let's just get right on into the generalities of what we saw this preseason. And we'll start with you, kids. You know, go as far as you want to, get specific as you want to about whoever and whatever. But how did this preseason go? Highs, lows, in between, individual players. What say you, man? What happened this preseason?
Oh man, that's a loaded question. I'll try to give you as unloaded an answer as I can. Things we wanted to see, we saw. As far as the quarterback is concerned, we saw him get rid of the ball much faster than expected or anticipated. That is a huge win for this team because this team will do very well if the quarterback can very simply get the ball into his skilled players' hands. There's a bunch of skilled players on this team. If the offensive line is caliber enough to give him just enough time to do what I just explained, then we've come a long way. Now, other things, and this is a bit more square at a certain general manager, there are areas that required improvement, and I think those areas were easily identifiable before the offseason even started. Running back, left tackle, edge rusher, maybe something in the secondary, but we'll leave it alone. But those three specific spots, easily identifiable as spots that required improvement. I'm not so sure that they were improved at all. And that's my that's the downside for me. I think all three of us here on this show, as well as just about every other Bears podcaster out there in the world, could easily say, hey, like, I think those areas need fixing or need a little bit of help. And despite the attempt, I'm not so sure that we have really improved at any one of those areas. Caveat being a certain guy who's a little bit hurt right now. So fingers crossed and prayers up for Austin Booker. I'm really hoping that he steps into the role that's been assigned to him. I think that he has the ability and the want to be a game changer in that role. So again, fingers crossed, hopefully that's what winds up happening. We did see a lot of evidence of that in this here preseason. Now, back to the GM. That ain't really because of the GM. GM selected him a year ago, right? GM didn't do anything really at that position except for bringing in a guy that we still have a massive question mark around, and that's Deo Odangbo. So again, in that respect, I'm going to say fingers crossed. Hopefully Deo Odangbo really shows out in some capacity starting in September. But as far as preseason, offseason is concerned, I don't know about the rest of you guys or the folks in the chat or the other podcasters out there, but I have nothing to hang my hat on, right? So that's that. That's my offseason take real quick. But there's other hellified upsides, like these wide receivers look real good. Tight ends look real good. The interior defensive tackle situation might be heavily improved. Now, we didn't see a lot of Grady Jarrett, but I think that was by design. You know, he's an older guy. I don't think he should have been out there in preseason doing very much anyways. So as long as he's as disruptive as he has been throughout his career, maybe the disruption, the pass rush, happens through the interior as opposed to the exterior, which works out well. I think that's about all I got to say about it. I'll like bookend it with this, and I'm really hoping to see Montez Sweat of 2 years ago and not Montez Sweat of last year. Trips?
Yeah, and also I would say that the interior offensive line has been upgraded. And something that I believe you said and Coach Trippin said earlier is, yeah, it was odd that a second-round pick was spent on Ozzie Trapillo, who they wanted to compete for the left tackle position. And it's like, all right, that's cool. But they never gave Darnell Wright any reps at left tackle. Whereas Ozzie Trapillo could maybe come in and be a starting right tackle. So let's see if Darnell Wright can play left tackle, you know, better than Braxton Jones, better than Canadian Eagle, better than Ozzie, you know, better than Karan Amagaji. Just give him a shot out there, but they didn't do that, which was kind of odd, but whatever. Yeah, the edge is still a thing. Is Booker that guy? Don't know, but other than him, there's nobody else that really looks like it because Deo, I mean, he looked like a defensive end, but not a pass rusher. No. And we don't have, you know, an identifiable pass rusher that we can say, yeah, this dude's a pass rusher that we know about. We got hustle guys like Booker and Hardy, but they haven't proven shit yet. So, you know, we can't label them that just yet. The depth in the secondary has gone to shit. You know, we haven't seen JJ all camp. We lost Smitty. Tyreek Stevenson is, you know, grabbing dudes by the face mask in the Dolphins, you know, practice, whereas he should be a lot more mature, we would hope. So, I mean, there are issues on the team, but overall, I think the talent level and the dog level has increased. The speed has increased. And with this coaching staff, they won't be able to cover up for lack of talent, but with the talent that they have to work with, I believe that they're able to scheme guys into the best position to succeed as possible to maximize the talent that they do have. And considering where this team is from where it was a few years ago from the teardown, it's a night and day difference. So, of course, there's still going to be deficiencies and things that need to be addressed or addressed better, but we are moving in a positive direction. Next year, it's like, the top pick needs to be a running back, a left tackle, an edge, not necessarily in that order or in that order, to be determined. But for right now, this preseason, what we have seen from this coaching staff is, especially Ben Johnson, is he wants this team ready to compete from the opening kickoff. Play one. When they are not, you can tell from the look in his eye, he is not happy. And he's like, we're going to run this until we get it right. Penalties, they're not accepting, like previous regimes. They're addressing that. They're actually seem to be holding players accountable for their actions on the field, which is a good thing. And as coaches, they seem to be also taking responsibility for, whatever the issues may be. So it's not a, them all the time. It's a us, we together. And I like that direction. The way Ben Johnson his demeanor on the sidelines, it's kind of like, all right, this young man looks like he knows what he's doing. He looks a big psycho, which I love about him. And he's a very smart, football grinder. And he's hired smart football grinders with experience and some new and up and comers. So this coaching staff has young, old, experienced, new, but all with the same focus and goal of winning, which is not something that we can say that we've had around here. And just the fact that they won these preseason games, which doesn't mean shit, in the record, but for your soul, for fan souls, for the team soul, you play the games to win. It doesn't matter if the starters are playing, the third string, or guys that are going to be selling insurance next week. They're in a game. Let's win the goddamn games. And that's what they did. So if they can keep that going forward into the season, hey, we got a opportunity to begin the process of taking the North and not giving that son bitch back.
Well, for no matter goes, the biggest part of this entire offseason, Triple R just nailed it. And remember I was saying Jamaicans have that vex screw face? Yeah. Ben Johnson, we're up 38-0. Vex screw face. Things ain't looking good against the Kansas City Chiefs. Vex screw face. We pull out the win, and we got Jade Walker hot stepping, air walking down the sideline. Vex screw face. I love it. This guy is so detail oriented and focused on what he wants this team to be. He wants this team to represent him, and he's all about that. And I think overall, regardless as to, and Crimson kind of hit on some of this in the chat, regardless as to the ups and downs with respect to the positions that we just talked about, and this 53-man roster, which we're about to get into, I think a lot of the woes of the last few years was simply based on, Crimson was saying effort, and effort is one thing. I'm going to say it was probably based much more so on vision or direction. And I don't think this team had either one of those under that hokey-ass head coach we had going for the last couple of seasons. So I think the future is bright. I think the future is very bright. And cheers to Ben Johnson.
All right. Let me get to that comment that Crimson made that I kept putting up on the screen, because it kind of sums up the basic core fundamental stuff that I wanted to see. And I'll read it out. Crimson You Dig says, at different times this offseason, I saw the timing, effort, and discipline that I wanted to see. And that probably is the base summary that I'm going to give you all, but I'm going to get into some specifics, and we'll start on the defensive side of the ball. And I know that a lot of people, they saw they ran pretty good against us, and people got alarmed. I'm talking about the Chiefs, people started to feel a certain way about, oh, this defense ain't this and they ain't that. Listen, I'm not alarmed by that because really it was all about evaluation. And I think the thing most people ought to know is we're getting a live look at guys playing and learning to play next to each other, passing off on assignments and different stuff like that, sliding, to the right at the right time, filling the gap at the right time. All that kind of stuff takes time to gel. When you see guys coming off the line of scrimmage at the same time and really getting their assignments right every single time, that's a team that's gelled. We're talking about on the defensive side of the ball. Plus, you did not see Grady Jarrett out there. That's going to be a key cog in the middle of that defense. Just telling you guys right now, whatever you saw, just flush that. I'm just telling you guys right now, because when Grady's in there, that's a different animal. It's a completely different animal, and whoever is next to him will feed off of his presence. That needs to be said. That, defensively, I wasn't really alarmed by much of anything. You know what I mean? Because I just know that's a work in progress. They're trying to learn how to play with each other, off of each other. Just not concerned, man. The edge rushers.
I'm asking you a question about the defense, though, just very specifically. This past Friday, were you not a little bit concerned about the secondary this Friday? The first team secondary?
Not really, because I know when Jalen gets back, we probably won't see Nashawn Wright for pretty much all. See, he might come in on, a few reps here and there. We probably won't see him. It's going to be Jalen and Tyreek. It's going to be Kyler out there at the nickel. We're going to have Brisker at the safety. We're going to have Byard at the safety. So, no, I wasn't concerned. I know that's just a Band-Aid for right now.
All right.
Yeah, I wasn't concerned. I'm not really concerned with almost anything. But I'll tell you what stuck out to me is the two guys that I thought would stick out on that defense that I kept slapping the table about. And that was 94 and 44. And true to form, man, they rose to the occasion. I felt like, again, I keep going back to this. The minute we got Dennis Allen, I went to all 22 tape for a couple years, man. You talking about 2 and 3 years worth of shit. I'm looking at tendencies. I'm looking at different player traits, like what kind of linebacker does he like? What kind of edge rusher does he like? And we started bringing that to the table doing shows the whole entire offseason. And I saw, Austin Booker as that's going to be a guy that Dennis Allen is going to really, really like because of all that effort and motor that he plays with. And he's got a couple of tools that he can use too. I said, this is going to be a Dennis Allen guy. Look back at the Oregon tape with Noah Sewell. I'm looking at in comparison to Dennis Allen's defensive structure. I'm like, the way he plays in Oregon is exactly the way Dennis Allen plays with his linebackers in New Orleans. He's going to bring that here. And I'm thinking in my head before any of that was proven that Noah Sewell was going to be a guy in this defense. And sure enough, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back here. It's just great to see that you take talent that people had question marks about on this roster and you put them to good use, put them in a style and in a system that feeds into their better self as a football player. The aggressive nature definitely fits those two players in particular much better than what Matt Eberflus brought to the table. Much, much better. Now, you will see at times, it's going to be times, and it's going to be, when I say times, you might count on 3 fingers, kids, and trips, how many times you see Austin Booker or somebody like that. You might see Dio or Montez Sweat dropping the coverage, but it won't happen often. And when he does it, it's just to really disguise what they're trying to do, just take something away from a tendency away from the offense. You'll see all that kind of stuff. But defensively, seeing Chris Williams, a guy that really stuck out during this preseason. Let me think of somebody else. Chris Williams for sure. Even, I have to say it, even though it's might be a possibility, probably a pretty good possibility that they may not even keep Zach Pickens, but I saw really good flashes of him this year. This offseason. This was good, man. This is really good. I am so not concerned about anything defensively because I know that gel, once they gel and start learning how to play off of each other, that defense is just going to look better and better and better as the season goes on. It's just a matter of time. You don't expect anything, just like the offense I'm about to talk about, to come right out of the oven ready. This doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way. It's going to take time. It's never going to be a ready-made situation when you got new coaches and new systems coming into a team. So that's my take on the defense. Offensively, I mostly saw what I wanted to see. Now I saw togetherness. They were pretty clean for the most part on the offensive line, which I was studying and really paying close attention to. How clean are they on the offensive line? How clean will these pockets be for the quarterback? And for the most part, I can tell you that those pockets were pretty clean. The guys that's really stuck out to me on that side of the ball was several. But the most impressive guy that I can speak to right now is absolutely Luke Newman. I'm talking about one of the new guys on the team. Luke Newman was a stud.
Hello, Newman.
I mean, a stud, straight up stud. He was that shit was impressive for a rookie, very impressive. What was also impressive, not so much to me, but probably to a lot of people, was how stout Ryan Bates was this preseason. He was consistent throughout. He was rock ass solid. Going to be a great depth piece for us right there. Even Ricky Stromberg in that front, he was looking good. I'll tell you another guy, Jordan McFadden, number 74. He was solid as shit too. I don't know if they're going to be able to keep him on the 53, but I got a feeling they might want to probably try to keep him on the practice squad somewhere. Try to at least. But that shit was impressive. Of course, Ja'Day Walker, that shit was impressive. We'll see what they do with him, man. It's a lot of people, walking on eggshells, fellas, right now because they're not sure if this guy's going to get kept. And they like to keep him, but it's gonna be a guy like that every year.
Well, don't. Sorry to interrupt you, Nomad, but now that you've started talking about this draft class, Loveland for his limited reps look decent, and LB3. Holla about your boy.
Oh yeah, both of them look really good. Both of them look very good. They look the part. Both of them look. What I enjoyed about Luther Burden is how he bought in to the no block, no rock idea. Like, you're gonna have to show me that you really bought into this, and this is how you show me that you're bought in. Let me see some punishing crack blocks. And he gave like a couple, 2, 3 of them in one game. And so that just showed me that there's complete buy-in with the team, at least on that side of the ball. You know what I mean? I saw that. Ja'Day Walker was impressive. And for a moment, Kyle Monungai, that's the problem. That's still the problem that I have is that running back room. I'm not sure about that, man. The quarterbacks, I saw everything that I needed to see. I knew what Tyson Bagent was. We knew what Tyson Bagent can bring to the table. We know he could be dynamite if given an opportunity. Caleb Williams, I saw pretty much everything that I wanted to see out of him. In the little small windows that we got to see him, was it clean all the time? Nah. That he's gonna have to definitely clean some shit up. And that cadence stuff, that's real. That's what he's got to clean up. The cadence, he's getting to the point where he's in and out of the huddle on time. Like one time in particular that is really stuck in my mind. I think he got out of the huddle and to the line of scrimmage with about at least like 13 or 14 seconds left on the clock. And that's pretty ideal, Kez and Trips. That's what you want. Because you got 13 or 14 seconds to call all the audibles, slide protections, see what the defense is trying to do to you, audible. I mean, just all the time you need to get the right play off. You know what I'm saying? You saw that be a whole lot cleaner. Now, some of his, he's going to have to, he's a work in progress when it comes to under center. The best looking football you saw from Caleb Williams was from the gun. And I don't know how sustainable that is. He's going to have to get better. And hopefully he's doing that now, working with whoever he can work with. But coming to the season, I know that's going to be a work in progress, him playing under center. So in total, I like what the new coaches are bringing to the table. I like these new players, some of these UDFAs. I think we got some pretty solid depth from top to bottom all over the place, except for in that running back room. That's the only problem I have right now. But I think we got a pretty nicely balanced team on pretty much every position room. And so I like that. I enjoyed it. I think the sky's the limit for us, man. It's just mostly about the quarterback and how long will it be before he gets to where he needs to be. That's pretty much all we're waiting on. So I thought it was pretty good overall.
All right. Not a bad offseason. Definitely exciting games to watch. Lit up the NFL. I think most of the fans out there are sitting there saying these are great preseason games from the Chicago Bears. To quote Austin Reed, they're the 2-time undefeated champs as far as the preseason is concerned. So,
and also before we move on, we got to give a shout out to T-Bag, Tyson Bagent. He got signed. He's shown improvement. He, working up from that UDFA to get him a 10 mil bag. Big up. And also, I hope we never have to see him play for the Bears, because we want, our number one quarterback to be that dude. But it is comforting knowing that, we got a young developing quarterback behind him as well, that can play, that has bought into the system and, been right there learning every step of the way.
So I'm going to follow that with some absolute idiocy and say that a certain 6-time Super Bowl champion was once a backup quarterback as well.
Hey, so you saying that
just saying.
Wasn't it in Soldier Field that he got hurt and then Tom Brady came in?
It happened to be in Soldier Field.
Drew, was it? Who got hurt? Who was that?
His name was Drew Bledsoe, and he was also a top draft pick, first quarterback selected in a draft. I don't remember I don't think he was first overall. But again, I thought watching him play, I thought he was destined for greatness as far as Drew Bledsoe was concerned. Crazy arm, mad accurate.
Right, but then he went down, and they say you can't lose your job, to injury, but he lost his job to injury.
He lost his job due to injury. I'm just saying, stranger things have happened in the NFL, and when I say stranger, look at Mr. Brady coming into the NFL. He had a noodle arm, wasn't very athletic. All he knew was that the longer he sat behind Drew, the more he could pick up from him, as well as understand the offense that much better. And we happen to have a guy who's been sitting back watching some decent talent. Oh, Justin Fields, super athletic. Let me get my athletics on. Let me get that up. Let me. My dad's imagine I'm bigging up Tyson Bagent right now, but you know what I mean. I'm just saying, my dad's an arm wrestling champion. Let me get my arm up, man. Let me get my arm up. Let me get my accuracy on. Let me understand this offense that much better. So again, a little bit of work. He's got a year ahead of Caleb in all of these respects. And I'm strangely not as worried about a situation where, he might have to start and go. Look at TB17 jumping into the chat as I'm giving
one thing I have to point out, though, I am concerned when you asked me about. I should have mentioned this when you asked me, Kev, about the cornerback room. That's a big loss, losing Terrell Smith.
It's a huge loss, and that's part of the reason why I asked you the question, right? It was like Terrell's gone, and suddenly we have a pretty embarrassing drop-off with the secondary. And it was somebody mentioned something out there in the Twitterverse, and it was just like, you think DA probably wouldn't be running that press man against two of the fastest wide receivers in the league. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, that's probably true. But
and Terrell's a track guy too, man. He can run with anybody.
This is what I'm saying. Terrell can, Tariq can. Tariq wasn't on the field. Jalen's not there. And you got these guys pressing Xavier Worthy, who runs a 4.22. You know what I mean? Like, wow. So you wonder why these guys are getting wide open. But it is what it is. I'm just like, the flip side of this whole conversation goes back to the edge rush. You know what I mean? And like, if you're getting the edge rush and you're on press, it makes matters completely different. If the quarterback is under duress, he may make a mistake that turns into a pick or a pick six. We're talking about Patrick Mahomes, which, not a lot of mistakes to be had. B, the guys we can count on, none of them were really out there this past week.
I do think they may have to make a move there. I don't know. So far, I don't see any significant, lockdown corners. Nobody to the level of Terrell Smith out there that's been cut so far. But we're going to get into that after Kez shows his 53. But, I think they may have to do something there, man, because the drop-off after the starters is kind of it's kind of tight, man. It's kind of tight, man. You're gonna need a little bit more depth to go through this whole damn season, man. So don't be surprised if they made some kind of trade or something to get somebody in there. I'm telling you, Terrell Smith was a huge loss.
That's a big loss, man. That's a big loss.
All right, kids, it's on you, man. You want to put your 53 up there before we start looking around the rest of the league?
Why not? I'm just wondering if I screwed this all up, but let me do the darn thing. See if I screwed this all up. Boom. Heads a Canuck 53-man roster. All right, so this is me taking a look at offense. I'm retaining these particular people. Somebody was just asking if Tyler Scott makes this team, and I don't know. There's technically still room for him on my practice squad if certain people get moved around, but I'm just going under the auspice that my guy Ryan Poles seems to have a hard time letting go of his own picks, right? So I'm retaining Tyler Scott. Jade Skywalker makes the team. Roman Dunze's right there starting at the wide receiver position, right alongside his homeboy DJ Moore. Devin Duvernay's on the squad with respect to kick returns and punt returns. Special teams value wins the day. As far as the slot is concerned, we're looking at Z. Olamide Zacchaeus as well as LB3 Luther Burden the third. That's your wide receivers. Then we'll get into this here offensive line. This one was tough. The O-line was tough. Yeah, bruh. No Karan, bruh. Karan's gone. I'm going with Braxton Jones because he looked like the guy who was holding it down. Theo Benedict follows him very closely as his backup. We're going with Big Joe right beside them on the left. Moving over to center, we've got Drew Dahlman and Ryan Bates. Ryan Bates is also the backup left guard / backup center. Moving over to right guard. Hey, man, maybe he doesn't. But then we're talking about who replaces him. Over at right guard, we're looking at Jonah Jackson and Luke Newman directly behind him, backing him up. I think Luke had a great preseason across the board. He did very well every time he was sort of looked at. So Darnell right at the right tackle, that goes without saying. And then Ozzie backing up Darnell once more at right tackle. As far as the tight end position is concerned, we've got Colston Loveland, Cole Kmet, and Durham Smythe. Little bit of pass catching, worst come to worst. These two guys are interchangeable as far as Cole Kmet and Loveland are concerned if one goes down, but you do want to have that blocking tight end that you can count on as well. At the quarterback position, I think just about anybody who's putting together a 53 would have these three guys doing the darn thing together. Caleb Williams, Tyson Bagent, Case Keenum. You've got the physical specimen as well as the mental specimen. Both of those guys will provide a fair amount of guidance to our number 1 overall draft pick, Caleb Williams. At the running back position, DeAndre Swift, Ian Wheeler, and Kyle Monangai. As you can see, no Roshan Johnson. Hankins is hurt. I still think we need a little bit of support at this position. I just don't know where we get it. So going back to the comments in the chat, I won't be surprised if a situation like this is going to be, where Tyler Scott finds himself off of this particular roster and they bring in a running back, right? Very potential. So move on to the defense. All right. Defensive side of the 53, starting with Montez Sweat at the left defensive edge, followed by Austin Booker right behind him and Daniel Hardy cleaning up. I personally love these three guys. They're amazing. Directly beside, I'll skip over to the right side of this, and it's simply Deo Odangbo on the right. So Daniel Hardy is your backup on the right, worst come to worst, or third string edge rusher, if you will. Moving towards the center, the interior, we start with Javon Dexter, Andrew Billings, Chris Williams. I think all three of these guys, especially Chris Williams, played fantastic in the preseason. Billings goes without saying. I'm a little bit torn with the fact that I had to let go of Jonathan Ford here. I think he's a very important cog and piece of this team, but I also think he had a terrible preseason. So that's part of the reason why I've removed him from the squad. You'll see where he winds up later on. Grady Jarrett, Shamar Turner. Shamar's going nowhere. Grady didn't play in the preseason with obvious reason as to why. So that's a better part of your defensive line. We'll move to the linebacking core, starting with the Wills. We've got TJ Edwards, Ruben Hippolyte, and my guy, Eamon Ogbongbemiga makes the team. Those two guys behind TJ Edwards truly have special teams capabilities, and that's why I've kept both of them. Yeah, I think there's a reason for 8, Crimson. So Tremaine's hurt. They're going to want to have somebody to start in Tremaine's position, and the two guys who've been starting for Tremaine have been interchangeably Ruben Hippolyte and Noah Sewell. I have a strange feeling that the guy who's going to actually start is going to be Noah Sewell. I don't see Ruben Hippolyte going anywhere, as well as the special teams value that he brings. I think he sticks around. They put draft capital into this guy. He's going nowhere, which then brings us to Power Echols as the final guy out of those linebackers. And I think he played really well. I think Power Echols showed out. So that's why I'm keeping Power Echols as well. Yeah, why not? That's what he's been playing.
People that might be listening, what are you responding to there, sir?
Oh, sorry. Crimson was asking me Noah Sewell at the right, and I'm saying yes. At the mic.
Yeah, Noah played Mike the entire preseason.
Yeah, bro. So that being the case, especially with Tremaine potentially being out for a little bit, they got to start somebody there, and I think he played very well. I think it's going to be Noah starting out at the Mike position for the next little while Tremaine is down. Moving to the secondary, tried, true, and tested cornerbacks here. We've got Tariq. We've got Zoff Frazier. I'm a little torn on the Zoff Frazier piece because we haven't seen him. There's something going on. They know what's going on. The only reason that Zoff Frazier, and I'm being completely transparent here, the only reason he's on this team is because there was capital spent on him. Somebody may have scouted him earlier on during his college foray, and they might be interested in his Zoff Frazier. This is mostly to prevent him from getting poached on the practice squad. It's truly the reality of Zay Frazier. That's my thoughts there, right? Mm-hmm. Where are we here now? So we're looking at
safeties.
We're looking at the safeties. We've got Jaquan Brisker, Mr. Owens, not Mr. Biles. I'll give him a little bit of love here today. Both those guys make the squad. For the most part, they've cut the better part of the guys who were backing up at safety already. So that kind of did me a little bit of a favor. I didn't really have to go through any of that. We've got Kevin Byard and Elijah Hicks following them up. I think that's really what it looks like, right? Frazier hits short-term IR. Well, that's a good call, but at the same time, I don't think he's hurt. There's been no mention of him actually being hurt.
Yeah,
Ben Johnson, go ahead, Trip.
He's been out due to personal things, is everything I've heard.
That's what Ben Johnson said again this past on Friday, right? He responded with respect to Austin Booker, among other people, whether they're injured, Tremaine as well. One of the people that he did specifically address was Zay Frazier, and there's a personal issue there. This is what's held him out and has made it so that he hasn't practiced or performed in any of the preseason. So I'm keeping him on the squad. He may wind up on the practice squad. I will not be surprised if that's the case again, because none of us have really seen him in capacity. but they might be worried somebody else would go and scoop him out of the practice squad, given the capital that was invested in him. Maybe he's something a little bit more than what we know. Oh, you asked me a silly question. It's just because of how I copied it. No other reason. Nothing specific. So that gives us the other side of the corners, leaving us with Jalen Johnson and Nashawn Wright makes the team, Kyler Gordon and Josh Blackwell at the nickelback position. So that's a better part of the squad. We'll round things out with your good old final three special teamers.
One quick take, and I'm done.
Yeah.
I think you're discounting what's his name, Nick McLeod. I think you probably should have put him on there.
Why?
Because he's going to be a part.
That's not an answer to the question. I'm asking you, like, why do you think he would be a part?
I think he's good enough, man.
But why? Did you see something?
Oh yeah, I knew that when we looked at the all 22. Yeah, he's you talking about the corner depth right about now. Having Nick McLeod there is not knowing that Terrell Smith is gone for the year. Oh, thank God we got Nick McLeod. But
who do you take off to put him on?
I don't know who the bottom. I'd have to see the depth chart, but somebody's going, so he stays. If I have to put Zay Frazier on IR, he stayed. I'm keeping Nick McLeod on the roster.
All right, when it's your turn, you're up.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't have a turn.
I don't know about Nick McLeod. I didn't see him do anything during the preseason in order for me to say something about it. If you're going off of previous projection or something else, cool. I didn't see anything from 24 at all. Quite frankly, I don't remember calling his name or Tripp calling his name at all during preseason.
Yeah, I mean, because I called Mekhi Garner's name a lot more than Nick McLeod I can think of.
Mekhi Garner was out there. He's already gone.
Yeah.
Geez.
Yeah, but go ahead and finish up, and then I'll get to mine real quick.
All right on. So okay, so your special teamers, Torrey Taylor, he ain't going anywhere. Cairo Santos ain't going anywhere. Scott Daly ain't going anywhere. Those are the three guys I expect to see as far as special teamers are concerned. The practice squad. Now, this is totally in flux. So some of the folks that we've just discussed here may wind up here, and that includes Tyler Scott. Right? Like there's a couple of folks that you could sort of mix and match in here. We're going to start with J.P. Richardson. Alex Cook is another name. I liked Alex Cook, and I was really flirting with keeping him on the squad. I thought he played well. That hit that saved that stopped that touchdown was a crazy hit. Ricky Stromberg is on this practice squad as well. Worries me a little bit because I think is it 16? I thought it was 10. If it's 16, there's a couple more heads I can add.
16.
Which is great. A couple more heads I can add. But I only went with 10. So so Stromberg, Steven Carlson's on there. Joel Wilson is on there for tight end depth. Xavier Carlton. Everybody's best friend Dominique Robinson is there. Zach Pickens is also there. Jonathan Ford and Jamry Chroma. That's what my practice squad looks like.
That's a pretty talented goddamn practice squad now.
Well, and what these guys are telling me is there's 6 more positions potentially on the practice.
Trying to trade some of these motherfuckers.
Trade to who?
Shit,
somebody who wants some shit.
Well, I'm just being real here. Everybody else is about to go through their cuts too. Nobody, you know what I mean?
Right.
pick up humanity as it stands out there.
It's going to be interesting because of so many cuts. You know, guys that will make this roster won't be on the roster when it's like, oh shit, this dude's available. We got to get him. So somebody got to go.
And this is part of the reason why I left a little bit of room on this practice squad. I feel like some of the guys that I did add onto this team, and I'm going to go back to the front and finish things off. A couple of these guys, like maybe again Tyler Scott, I think he's the first name that jumps out on this side. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that I can really think of here. Maybe Power Eccles, maybe Zaw Frazier. A couple of these guys may find themselves on the practice squad, mostly just to free up the 53-man roster so they can sign additional talent. And that's that.
Let me say, Crimson says, do we really need any more 7th round picks? Let me tell you something, man. Sometimes, man, depending on a team and how, like a 7th round cut from the Philadelphia Eagles, a 7th round cut from the Kansas City Chiefs ain't like a 7th round cut from the Bears 4 years ago when Ryan Poles got here, right? The difference in caliber is going to be a little bit higher because you got a talent-laden roster on both of those two teams I just mentioned, talking about the Chiefs or the Eagles. Really, really talented teams get to cut really, really talented players because there's no room for them. And so, like, there's a couple names we're going to point out when Kez gets done with this. You know, there's a couple of UDFAs that are out there that got cut already. We're going to talk about some names out there. It's some good players out there.
Yeah, there's definitely one that jumped out to me, and we'll look at him actually two. I think you know what? I think Triple R just lit up both these in my chat. Did he?
Well, yeah. all you got to do is go to Yahoo Sports, kids, because you can kind of produce while we're doing that if you want to, and they'll show you the latest cut tracker.
Okay, well, I'll pull this down and get us back
to. If you're done with your 53, if you're not done, keep it up there.
Oh no, we're good. That's Keds the Canucks 53. That's what she looks like.
And all right. Now, while you're pulling that up, I don't have the graphic for you, but I can read mine off pretty quick. All right, quarterback, we're keeping Gizmo, as Trips calls him. Teabag and Case Keenum, Austin Reed to the practice squad. Running backs, we're keeping Swift, Wheeler, Monangai, and Brown. Hankins is on IR. Roshan, Travis Homer, and Royce Freeman are out of there. Tight ends, Komet, Loveland, and Carlson are kept. Smythe is between Smythe and Carlson. They're kind of the same guy, but I'd rather keep the younger guy.
You feel like asking FFG's question, man?
I can't see it because I'm reading my.
He says, "What's the weakest position group on the team in you guys' eyes?"
Man,
okay, let's change that. Probably running back.
That's what I would have said.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. All right. So, I would rather between Smythe and Carlson, keeping Carlson, Smythe can go Joel Wilson to the practice squad. Wide receivers keeping 6. DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, Zacchaeus, Duvernay, LB3, and Jade Walker. That kid has earned it. My man, Tyler Scott, such fucking high hopes for that kid. Deuces. Miles Boykins, Toure out of there. White Chocolate, JP Richardson, and Maurice Alexander to the practice squad. Offensive line, keeping Braxton Jones, Tooney, Dahlman, Jackson, and Wright. Ozzie, Luke Newman, of course. Ryan Bates, Karan. He's 3rd round pick. You just can't give up on that easy. He can play. We've seen him play, but it's staying healthy and finding a position. So let them work that out with Coach Rochar offensive line and see what they can do. Also keeping Canadian Eagle. Now out of there are Kramer, Joshua Miles, Bill Murray, sadly, and Chris Glazier, who sucks. To the practice squad from the offensive line, Ricky Stromberg and Jordan McFadden. On defense, defensive line, keeping Montez Sweat, Grady Jarrett, Javon Dexter, Austin Booker, Big Dollar Bill, Shamar Turner, and Chris Williams. Gone are Dom Robb, Zach Pickens, Jonathan Ford, and Tano. Practice squad, Jeremy Chroma and Xavier Carlton. Linebackers, keeping TJ Edwards, Tremaine Edmonds, Amen, Noah, and Ruben. To the practice squad, Swayze, Power Eccles, and Carl Jones. Defensive backs, keeping Jalen Johnson, Tyreek Stevenson, Kyler Gordon, Nashawn Wright, Zay Frazier, Josh Blackwell. Gone, Jeremiah Walker, Trey Flowers, Nick McLeod, Mekhi Garner, Caleb Hayes, and Mark Perry to the practice squad. For safety, keeping Brisker, Byard, Hicks, and Owens, Cook and Tysheen Johnson to the practice squad. And for special teams, Cairo Santos, Torrey Taylor, and I'm kind of torn because Scott Daly, I think, had a back issue last year, and he's not old, but he's getting up there, and Luke Elkin could be like the long snapper for the next 10 years. So I would prefer probably to keep Elkin and get rid of Scott Daly. So that's my 53 roster and 16 practice squad.
You switched it up on Scott Daly, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, there is that argument to be made that if you kept Daly and put Elkin on the practice squad, now another one of these practice squad guys got to go.
That's fair.
I think there's going to be a few guys that, I don't know, depending on what they're seeing in practice that we didn't see in the preseason, they didn't get to see in games, but could be seeing some stuff in practice. Like, I don't know if you outright cut Jamry Chroma or put him on a practice squad, but he's one of those guys that I think could get outright cut because the more I see him, the more I think he fits a 3-4 edge rusher, linebacker slash kind of role. You know what I mean? I think might be time to get somebody that can actually come on this team and produce, man. Somebody, if you put him on a practice squad and you got to bring him up, can bring you some stuff. You know what I mean? So there's a couple of names out there, man. So kids, if you got some comments about Trips' 53, go ahead.
Oh, no, that was my big one. The rest of them make perfect sense to me. 6 of one, half dozen of the other with respect to what I did. He went with Carlson as opposed to Smythe. He went with youth because he's an ageist bastard, and
fucking A.
And I went with blocking prowess. That was really where I went with the Smythe thing. Mostly, beyond that, you kept Karan, didn't you?
I did.
You did keep Karan.
Because I don't think he would last on the practice squad. Some team is going to scoop him up. And that's just too much of a investment to just crap away. At least give him the opportunity to develop under, Darren Rochar. And if Rochar can't do anything with him this season, okay, fine. But we got to not just throw away a guy that we know can play, but just hasn't put it all together and stayed healthy at the moment.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
For all those reasons, I cut the man. You know what I mean? To be frank, I just kind of figured let him pound the pavement and have somebody else put that into this investment and work him into play and form. The Bears actually need a left tackle today, and to be frank with you, they needed a left tackle yesterday, and it doesn't really look like it's Karan Amagachi. So.
Hey, before we get into kids, if you want to pull up the
I got you.
Yeah, hold on, don't pull it up yet. Before everybody that's just
Wait,
now.
Before you go that, no man, hold on 1 second, real quick, before I forget. Now, I said before on Friday, I believe that Luke Newman could possibly be the heir apparent to Tooney, but he could also be the heir apparent to right guard Jonah Jackson. And if that's the case, if Amagaji, who some say would probably be a better guard,
guard, man. Yeah, you're right.
He could be the develop into the left guard of the future. So Amagaji has potential. We just have to figure out where.
Okay,
we'll see.
I like that.
We'll see, everybody that just jumped in the channel, welcome you all, and please hit the like button while you guys are here. Please remember, we're asking people to grab a membership. First, we had one tier of membership, and it was $4.99. And thank you for all the Supernomaniacs that have that membership. Please keep them. We need more of them. But anybody that wants to become a member of the channel, now it's only 99 cents. Everybody can afford it. It's only $1. It's only cost you $1 a month, man. So we're doing that because we're getting ready to promote a bunch of new Bears gear that's on the website. And we want you guys to get the discounts. That's why we're pressing it, man. We get this damn membership. This is just our way to say thank you for supporting us for all this time. We're going to probably pay you back this way by giving you great merchandise, man. This is going to be one thing that we can do for you all, amongst other things, once enough people become members of the channel, it's going to be more stuff that we'll do. If we can get at least half the subscribers of the channel to become a member, that pays every bill that we have on the channel, and we can do a bunch more with that little bit of money, man. So everybody that has $1 to spare, man, come on, grab your membership. This is just one of the new logos we'll be featuring. This is another one. This is a bomber jacket with Bears Run shit on it. This is definitely going to be my first piece of merchandise. I'm getting this exact jacket with I don't know, I might go with gray, but I like black right about now. I just like it. So this is just going to be a couple of things. There's several new logos coming up that you guys are going to see when we publish this website, which is coming in a few days. So everybody, please get a membership, man. We want you all to get these discounts. Grab them while you can, man. So thank you.
What size are you, Crimson? Let me know in the chat. We'll make sure we got stuff for you.
What's Crimson, like a 6X?
Yeah, we got some.
Because his comment said at Nomad, better be some big man sizes.
You know what, Crimson? I'll say this, man. I've been looking through there recently. I can't say that every single thing. Shout out to
Petty Murphy.
Shout out to Petty, man. Thank you, bro, man. He's been a member. He's becoming a member again. But thank you so much, Petty. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff there they feature a lot of gear that has.
Is that to say a 5 XLT, 5 extra large?
They feature a lot of gear for bigger people on them, but not every. We'll just try to have to find some stuff to make sure that everybody gets that logo, whatever logo they want on a certain item. We do the best, but they do have a lot of variety there. I can just tell you that, Crimson. I've seen a lot.
5X, okay, cool. Yeah, there's a couple of things at 5X. I'll be God honest about it. Once you get to that when you need that extra material, the cost goes up a little bit. So like, yeah. I'm glad. You know what I mean?
I mean, because the 5X is like 5 regular,
you know what I'm saying? So it does get a little bit more pricey. So
but being large men like us, we know that it's like, well, how come a small costs $2, but the extra large costs $10? Well, because it's extra large, it's more material, more, all of that stuff. So you got to pay more. The more you weigh, the more you pay. Sadly.
You want a short set FFG? We'll get you straight. We'll set you straight, man. All right. I think, to be honest with you, I think a short set would look nice with the Bears Run shit, to be honest.
Wait till y'all see some of those other logos and some of those other brands on there. Y'all gonna love that shit. I'm just telling you now. Grab a membership. Go and get that discount, man. Just telling you.
Because FFG is that type of dude that be wearing the silk shorts with the silk shirt and then the silk socks pulled up to his knees with like the Stacey Adams. You know what I'm saying? Get his sweat rag.
Watch out! Watch out there now. That kind of motherfucker.
Where you going there, young blood?
Hey, mama, what's happening?
Yeah, your mama know who I am. And then he go home and be like, honey.
All right, we ain't even to get this going. Come on with that goddamn website, kid.
All right, it's coming. Here we go. Bada boom. Oops.
Bit up, Calvin C. This is a great show. You guys keep doing what you're doing, and this podcast will keep growing. I appreciate you guys. Bear down.
We appreciate you, Calvin.
Calvin C in the place to be. So here we go.
All right, tell them where we at. Tell them shout out Yahoo Sports.
You know what I'm doing, man. Courtesy of Yahoo Sports. Big ups to y'all. They've got an NFL cuts tracker. So you can jump over here and take a look at basically all of the teams.
And make sure that some bitch is refreshed.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll do that just for posterity's sake.
Screen maximized.
I might be able to do something a little bit better. Can I?
Slow down. I got a couple of names I got circled here. Like right there off the top is Zach Moss for the running back room.
All right, so this is about as big as I can make it. Hopefully that helps you.
Yeah, that's good right there.
Okay. Damn, y'all.
You need a fucking seizure though.
Jesus, Murphy. What's Whoa. Okay, maybe I'll just bring it back down to regular size.
Yeah, going back to where it was. We can talk about it.
It's going crazy.
All right, so at the very top, Zach Moss, a very solid.
Why are you doing that? What's going on?
You got other shit open on your computer. You probably need to close it.
Shouldn't make any difference. Just a browser window. Here we go. Okay. Buffalo Bills. Zy Alexander, Nelson Caesar, Garnet Hollis Jr., Rush Reimer, Matt Sokol, Elijah Young, running back. Anybody know anything about Elijah Young?
Elijah Young, very, very fast. I think he's from I want to say Western Kentucky or somewhere like that. Very, very fast. He would be like he's probably cut because he can't pass, bro. He's just not built for it.
He's cut
But
they got two amazing running backs ahead of him. So you know what I mean? Like they had to let go of somebody.
3 or 4 to that means they feel like they got better running backs in the room. Mm-hmm. But if you want another DeAndre Swift type of explosive running back, he's a piece to look at. But that's what I can tell you about him. You got to go back up to Buffalo.
Okay, that was the last one for Buffalo, though.
All right, so who's underneath them? Miami.
So Elijah Young was the end of Buffalo. Next up, we've got the Miami Dolphins. Wide receiver Tariq Black and punter Ryan Stonehouse. Nothing major.
But you got a couple of names here though. Two right off the top, but I'm certain.
You got it. So New England Patriots cut half the squad. I don't know what the hell's going on here. So it looked like most of their cuts were done immediately.
What
so
happens when you get a new coach?
Huh?
That's what happens when you get a new coach and they want to change out the personnel from before.
Well, I don't know what he's thinking right off the bat. Jaheim Bell was he's someone I know Nomad and I definitely scouted last was it last draft?
It might have been last year or the year before that.
I think it's last year.
It seems like Chris was still here when we did that.
I think so too, man. Jaheim Bell is a nice pass catching option at tight end. He's not really. What's funny is he's not like the traditional Patriots tight end, like big body tight end. He's something a little bit more like Colson Loveland, but a little bit smaller, but more probably faster and a bit more. Well, I won't say more athletic, but very athletic. If we had a tight end problem, I would say go scoop him up.
So you don't like him over either Carlson or Smythe?
Because I like him over Carlson. I don't like him over Smythe, right? So Smythe brings that blocking capability. He's not coming here to block anybody.
He's more of a novelty tight end and a pass catcher, a guy you can use on reverses and do trick plays with kind of guy. He's not your traditional tight end. And you got, like, say, for instance, you wanted to grab him and put him on the team. You're going to have to get a little creative on how you use him. You might want to pull him back as a fullback sometimes and get some plays with that, just to feature him a little bit more, get some play action of it. You know, just got to get creative with him. He's not a prototypical tight end.
He's a weapon, though, and that's the thing about this kid that jumped out to me. Micah Bernard, I'm not familiar. Are you familiar?
Yes, Utah. Yeah, I think he came out either this year or last year. Maybe a year. He might have been in the league a year, but yeah, I'll just put it this way. You put him on this team right now. We got Micah Bernard, and he can probably challenge Roschon Johnson for his role right now. If he's the number 2 running back, let me close this window.
Speaking of closing windows, I got a cricket in my damn kitchen. Believe it or not.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
We're talking so much shit.
Right?
What? Crickets are just plaguing everybody.
Yeah, Micah Bernard is instant upgrade to this room. There's a couple more out there. Micah Bernard, Zach Moss from this got cut with the Bengals. But Micah Bernard, hey, everybody, no maniacs, super no maniacs. Soon as this show is over, or if you feel like it right now, pull up on your phone, Micah Bernard, Utah. That's all you got to do. He just hasn't had. They're pretty loaded in New England right now. Now that they just drafted what's his name, Travion Henderson, there's no way they're gonna get this guy on the field, and he's a quality running back.
No, I was really hoping that somehow we would find Ramondre Stevenson on this pile of humanity, but I don't see his name here. It's very unfortunate for me. But it looks like they had a whole bunch of running backs.
There's another name down there people might be interested in. We did this a couple years ago when Chris was here, and that's Layden Robinson, that guard down there.
Okay, Layden Robinson. Anybody else jump out? No.
Sure, those 3 right there, right off the top. But less than likely, Jaheim Bell. More than likely, Micah Bernard, and maybe Layden Robinson.
Yeah. I'll give the list anyhow. So again, Jaheim Bell, tight end, running back Michael Bernard, defensive tackle Philip Bleedy, corner Isaiah Bolden. Wasn't he good too?
He's decent.
Tight end Cole Fotheringham.
Didn't he just catch like 3 touchdowns last week in preseason?
Cole Fotheringham?
Yeah.
Possible.
Hey, another New England Patriot they're trying to possibility. I think Schefter's reporting it. It's Kyle Duggar. All the people that have questions about how deep we are at safety, there's might be an opportunity there.
Yeah, he's available for trade. But if they don't trade him, will he be, just straight out cut on Tuesday?
That's what they're trying to see. If they can get a trade before they do that. Somebody's gonna want him. He's
well, now would you risk like a late round pick for him or just like hope he gets cut?
I'll get
that late round pick for him if I feel like, yeah. He's tough. When I say tough, Kyle Duggar is just one of those people from the old regime. They want to get their own people in there. That's all.
So who does he replace? Byard, Brisker, Hicks, or
he doesn't replace any of
Biles. Not Biles, Owens.
He just brings to depth.
Well, you just went over the roster. There's only so many spots. So like, who are you getting rid of?
If you had to get rid of a guy, it's going to be hard to do it because he just went through this whole camp and he looked pretty solid out there. But not Elijah Hicks, but the other one. What's his name?
Biles? Owens.
Yeah, that's probably the guy. If you were to make
Duggar is definitely better than Owens, so it's an upgrade. I ain't mad at it.
No question. He immediately becomes your third safety. And Elijah Hicks becomes your fourth.
Wow. All right. Finishing off the list here. Wide receiver Phil Lutz, linebacker RJ Moulton, defensive tackle Kyle Pico, cornerback Jordan Polk. I thought he was pretty good too. Linebacker Monty Rice, guard Therese Robinson, guard City So.
Not a bad player either. I'm wondering what's happening with him and Layden Robinson. I'm wondering if there's some injury shit going on.
There probably is. Running back Shane Watts, quarterback Ben Woolridge, and guard Layden Robinson. Moving on to the New York Jets. Cornerback Mario Goodrich, tackle Sam Jackson.
Motherfucker.
I thank you very much for that. That was perfectly timed. Tight end Neil Johnson, wide receiver Demir Miller, defensive tackle Fatorma Mulba, wide receiver. Good Lord, I'm going to have a stroke.
Ontario Pokey Wilson. I would love to have that guy if we had the room.
No cuts from the Baltimore Ravens as yet. Cincinnati Bengals have cut tight end Cole Taylor as well as running back Zach Moss.
Stop right there, kid. You know a little bit about Zach Moss. I know.
Yeah, I'm not impressed though, but that's I know you're much more impressed.
Would he add some quality depth to the room?
I wish I could say no, he wouldn't, given the state of the room. So,
who does he replace?
Somebody. You know what I mean? Like that. So the upside to my 53 is that I left room on the practice squad. That being said, let's just throw Karan on that practice squad. He'll probably get poached at some point. Just to be real about that, let's throw Tyler Scott on that practice squad. I'll be surprised that, and maybe even Zay Frazier. There's going to be a couple of heads that we didn't see coming, as in I didn't see coming.
Right.
Moved over.
Clemson said you could get one of those 8 linebackers.
There's only 6 of them, but you know what I mean. Even then, I don't know if they get rid of Power Eccles. Power Eccles did very well,
but he wouldn't get poached off the practice squad. I wouldn't think.
This is true. So maybe you stash him on the practice squad and pray, and maybe you have to sort of. I expect them to probably come out with a 50-man roster and go find three potentials. You know what I mean? 3 potentials out of all these cuts, whether they trade for one or scoop them up on waivers as it were. So I expect more of a 50-man roster to actually be what we find on Tuesday than 53.
And then also the injuries that we aren't aware of how serious they are and maybe, some of the roster guys that we all want to keep may start out on the IR, unavailable or whatever designation, but not available. So that frees up a roster spot for a few weeks to let some of these other young guys get in there until they heal up. But we don't know the extent of a lot of these injuries. Monangai, Roshan Johnson, Tremaine Edmonds,
Even
JJ, guys that we haven't seen. So we don't know how bad they're hurt, or are they good, but they were just, saving their bodies until the season starts. Don't know.
Could be a combination of the two. And big ups to Ben Johnson for being, some level of honest and transparent with us. But at the same time, he may be sandbagging some of that information, just as you alluded to, because he doesn't have to tell us anything at all. Right?
Yeah.
So there is that. Cleveland Browns cut all kinds of humanity as well. It's a ridiculously long list.
Dude, hold on, man. There's a guy, by far the most talented guy on there. There's a few talented guys on there, like veteran safety, Nick Needham. If you want a veteran safety, he's one of the decent ones out there. Played a lot of football. But KJ Henry, by far, is the most talented guy on this trade block. If you ever watch and study Cleveland's defense, then you would know why somebody as talented as KJ Henry gets cut. That's how talented that defense is. KJ Henry is a stud. He's a stud from Clemson. I don't know if you guys remember. I think it was
about a pass rusher or more of a DN.
He's more of a 3-4 edge rusher / linebacker. He that's what he played in Clemson. That's what they play in Cleveland. So he probably fits that better. But just to point out, a guy that he can get after the passer now. He can get after the passer.
Well, like I said, I want burgers, no sliders. So we'll see. We'll see.
Pick up Minister. Hope it was biting this weekend for you.
What's that?
I was just saying, giving a shout out to the Minister. Hope they was biting for him this weekend.
Oh, he was fishing?
Yeah, nice. He went, we say catfish and crappie.
Okay. Damn. All right, I'll go through this real quick. Quarterback Tyler Huntley, who, would be interesting to just about anybody out there if you need a quarterback. Lots of quarterbacks in Cleveland.
Snoop, that's his nickname, Snoop Huntley.
Oh, Snoop Huntley. Yeah, that's right. Tackle Jackson Barton. Cornerback Tony Brown 2. Safety Nick Needham, as Nomad was just saying. Cornerback Chigozie Anusium. Tight end Sal Cannella. Guard Javion Cohen. Tackle Sebastian Gutierrez. Defensive end KJ Henry, as Nomad was just talking as well. Defensive tackle Ralph Holly. Cornerback Christian Holmes. Cornerback Keenan Isaac. Tackle Jason Ivey. Defensive end Titus Lee. Linebacker Marvin Moody. Cornerback Darius Rush. Linebacker Charlie Thomas 3. Tackle Lorenzo Thomas. Guard D'Artagnan Tinsley. Tight end Mitchell Van Voren. Center Bucky Williams. On to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Linebacker Kenny Wilkes. Willikis. Say that 3 times fast. Defensive back Cam Alexander. Defensive back Quindell Johnson.
Kenny Willikis.
Quindell was safety here for about a year. Got him off a practice squad.
He was over here?
Yeah, Sam. I remember Samo really liked him.
Defensive back Kyler McMichael. Defensive back Mikey Victor. Offensive lineman Doug Nestor and Julian Pearl. Quarterback Logan Woodside.
Stop at the running back because that's the one to circle, Evan Hall.
Running back Evan Hall. What are your thoughts?
From Northwestern. A lot of people might remember him in the chat. I think he came out a year ago. Solid piece, maybe 2 years ago. I'm not sure. Solid workhorse type of running back. You know who he reminds me of is Zach Charbonnet. He makes me eerily similar skill set to Zach Charbonnet. Running style, just that workhorse, solid running back that they won't be able to feed on that team. So they did right by him by cutting him. He's gonna get scooped up by somebody. I think Bears ought to be in that conversation. He's another solid piece.
Interesting. Don't know anything about Evan Hull, but the more the merrier in that running back room. We need support. Tight end Kevin Folsch, long snapper Jake McQuaid. Houston Texans have only cut one person, and that's Trey McKitty. He is tight end. Indianapolis Colts have not made any cuts as yet. The Jacksonville Jaguars have cut 2 wide receivers, Joshua Cephas and Darius Lassiter. Defensive lineman Eli Mostert has also been cut. Tennessee Titans haven't made any cuts, but the Denver Broncos have cut linebacker J.B. Brown. Moving down to the New York Giants. Kayvon Wallace, safety.
Solid safety.
Philadelphia Eagles have cut quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson and wide receiver Giles Jackson. Chicago Bears. So, big chunk of my 53 that went missing real quick. Swayze Boseman at linebacker, offensive lineman Chris Glaser, tight end Thomas Gordon, defensive back Mark Perry, wide receiver Samori Toure, and defensive back Jeremiah Walker.
Mm-hmm. I think even more guys are gone. I don't know why they don't have them on here.
I think you're correct.
Royce Freeman's gone. Chris Glaser's gone.
Chris Glaser's there. He's on this list, but I know what you're saying. Royce Freeman is definitely part of this list.
Caleb Hayes. Yeah, there's a couple other guys.
Green Bay Packers cornerback Garnett Hollis Jr. and defensive lineman Keith Randolph. Wasn't he here for a little bit?
They had him last year as a UDFA.
Yeah, I thought so. Minnesota Vikings.
There you go, kid.
One. Yeah, there you go, for real. So this is one I would be looking at immediately. Except I'm wondering how the hell he didn't stick in Minnesota either. I'm worried.
DB, they got a pretty good DB room.
I'm worried, man. Reddy Stewart, cornerback. We need a little bit of support in that respect. He came in and filled in a pinch last year a couple of times. Definitely got an interception, if not 2, during those times in a pinch. Bring back Reddy, Cornelius Squall says, and I'm saying it just as loud and proud as he is.
Look down there at the bottom of there, kid.
What are you talking about?
The bottom of the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, yeah, we getting there. So cornerback Keenan Garber, running back Trey Stewart, safety Michelle Powell, tackle Logan Brown, offensive lineman Zach Bailey, wide receiver Silas Bolden, wide receiver Robert Lewis, and Ryan Pohl's favorite draft pick of them all from
Georgia. Kennesaw State.
Travis Bell, the bowling ball.
Right, his most favorite human being.
Favorite human being for Ryan Poles. So there's 2 guys of 2 former Ryan Poles selections in the draft right there on the Minnesota Vikings squad, freshly cut, that at least one of them could make an impact on this here Chicago Bears team. Hate to say this about Travis Bell. It's just that I think we're good at defensive line. I think the interior defensive line looks completely retrofitted at this point. But we could use a little bit of support right here with Reddy Stewart. So fingers crossed, y'all. I think that'd be a great acquisition. Moving on to the Atlanta Falcons, offensive lineman Matthew Cindric, quarterback Ben DiNucci, running back Elijah Dotson, defensive lineman Morgan Fox, cornerback Lamar Jackson. Oh, what's Lamar Jackson?
Morgan Fox. Morgan Fox is a guy.
Yeah?
He's a guy. They just have an upgraded, I think that's the Rams roster, right?
No. Atlanta Falcons.
Okay, so they definitely have a more upgraded. He's played some football, man. Morgan Fox can get upfield, man. I'm talking about 3-tech kind of stuff. You're talking about a guy that can really, really get upfield. If you haven't, you should check out some Morgan Fox tape. There's a lot of tape that I need to check out, but I've already studied him. Morgan Fox is a dude. It'd be a nice little pickup.
Okay. Cornerback Lamar Jackson. I believe he was here for a minute. Am I wrong?
I can't tell you. He might have been, but I think we had
Lamar Jackson wound up on the Bears. squad for a minute. Linebacker Caleb Johnson. Tight end Nikolai Kalinick. Nick Kubitz, linebacker. Wide receiver Jesse Matthews. Defensive end Ronnie Perkins.
There's a guy, Ronnie Perkins. I hope you guys are taking some notes here, man. Ronnie Perkins is a guy. I think he comes out of either Arkansas or Oklahoma, but really, really nice edge rusher, man. He's got some decent size to him. He's just in a room where he's not going to ever get on the field, man. So they did him a favor and let him out, but that's a quality player right there.
Yeah. Wide receiver Quincy Skinner Jr., safety Josh Thompson. Nothing doing at Carolina, New Orleans, but look who fell off the wagon in Tampa Bay. And like shout out Deion Sanders, because it's been a rough little go, man. So safety Shiloh Sanders, who was just drafted by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, well towards the back end of this draft, finds himself off the team, which is terrible. And his brother's now, I think, the third or fourth string quarterback in Cleveland. Tough go for the Sanders family. So again, shout out to Deion. It is what it is, brother. Arizona Cardinals, Los Angeles Rams, tight end McAllen Castles, safety Malik Dixon Williams, offensive lineman Ben Dooley, defensive tackle Decarius Hawthorne, guard John Legue, center Mike McAllister, outside linebacker Josh Piercy, defensive lineman DeJohn Terry, offensive tackle Trey Wettig, quarterback Dresser Wynn, linebacker Tony Fields II, wide receiver Mario Williams. And to round things out, San Francisco 49ers have
Hold on. Yeah, if you can go back up for a second. Those two back-to-back, DeJohn Terry, nice piece to have. Big boy in the middle. He's mostly a nose guard. If they feel like we need a little help there, DeJohn Terry, he'll do just that. I think he came out this year, maybe last year, but he hasn't played much. And also Trey Wettig is a nice piece at tackle. I'm not sure if he's a left tackle or right tackle, but if you want to think he's kind of a swing. So, if they want to take a look at something like that, those two are nice pieces.
Okay. San Francisco 49ers have cut defensive lineman Damon Harris and running back Corey Kinner.
I got to stop right here one more time. This is the last guy, I think. But Corey Kinner, I did him in this offseason here. When talking about these, he's from Cincinnati. He got cut, and I think largely due because they just picked up the Washington Commanders running back. Or he'd probably be on this team. He just got injured the last preseason game. He got a high ankle sprain. Yeah, so he'll be out for the next several weeks. But you grab you a Corey Kinner. Please go check out Corey Kinner on film, or go to the Nomad Network YouTube channel and go to videos or shorts and find what I broke him down. But Corey Kinner, I think pretty close to the top of this tier, if not the top. I think him, as far as the running backs go, to grab, man, that you talking about that's a nice piece right there.
Well,
Corey
but
Kinner.
they traded for what's his face, Robinson.
Yeah.
And they want to move him to number 2. So Robinson's better than Kinner then, right?
Yeah, they always, I'm telling you, 49ers just year in and year out, always find UDFA or 7th round running backs that work well. Like the guy Jordan, what's his name, that just got, I think he went to Minnesota. I think he was undrafted. So they know how to draft running backs. I'm telling you right now, Corey Kinner is a player. Whoever gets him is going to get lucky.
Well, like I say, it's got a lot more to do with San Francisco's offensive line. Their offensive line is amazing. So whoever you put in front of that line, behind that line to run the ball, going to have a pretty good showing. And we saw a lot of that last season when they came here and ran all over us. But I think they're like their fourth string. It might have been Corey Kinner, their fourth string running back was just cleaning it up. This is
they get beat up, Princeton. That's why they have to do that, because they beat the dog shit out of them and they get hurt. And then they have to trade for a running back. Yeah, but they draft pretty good, lower rung of the draft and get those 7th rounders, UDFAs, they do pretty good there all the time.
Well,
that's it, man.
That's the show. So we've got, just to make sense of things, Seattle Seahawks, Arizona. There's a bunch of teams. There's a bunch of teams that we're still waiting to see what happens with, right? So New Orleans, Carolina. I expect there to be some good stuff that falls out of Carolina. Detroit hasn't cut anybody. The Commanders haven't cut anybody. Dallas, Chargers, the Raiders, Kansas City hasn't cut anybody. Tennessee Titans haven't cut anybody. Colts, Baltimore Ravens. That's it.
There's not too many 49er running backs that I would really. Only reason I would want to go after Corey Kiner because he just got there. But after a couple of years running in that 49ers offense, I wouldn't want his ass because they beat the dog shit out of running backs.
They should. They have one, like I said, they're one of the best offensive lines in the game. They do.
Straight up.
Just about anybody look good behind there. Not to say that like Christian McCaffrey ain't good, but he's so good on top of that offensive line that it's just we just feed him the rock wherever he's at and away we go. It makes sense. So,
all right. Any final thoughts, man? Any thoughts about everything we talked about tonight? Anything stick out trips you got kind of quiet towards the end? Any thoughts that you have while we were going through all that?
No, it's just there's talent on the street. It's just, is it better than the talent that we have? If so, I'm sure Ryan Poles will make that move and upgrade where he deems necessary or even possible. So, it's just that time of year now. It's like, all right, who's on the street? Are they better than what we have? Let's go get them. If not, it's just kind of where we are.
Yeah, man. I do think and this is only 24 hours after the last preseason game, somewhere in that neighborhood. And you've already got some solid talent already out there. By tomorrow, there's gonna be much more talent out there, but sure, by the time Wednesday's show comes, where there's, hey dude, it's gonna be a lot to be had. And I don't know how many guys the Bears are gonna actually go out and try to claim, because we only did like 2 last year, 2, maybe 3. This could be one of them when you got a coaching changeover. Well, all right, we got a chance in here to get some more players more like my speed. We just came over here and changed over this roster a little bit, but we might get more opportunity once this waiver wire claim shit starts. So they might see some opportunities out there. Could be some former players from wherever regime they came from. So I do expect a little bit more movement than we had in the last year or so when Flus was here. So I do expect some action. So Tuesday and Wednesday show going to be pretty fun. Any last thoughts you got before we get ready to get out of here? I got a date with my girlfriend tonight. She's falling in love with this show called Evil on CBS. I don't know if you guys know or are familiar with it, but she's in love with it. It's pretty cool. It's different. You check it out, Trips?
Never heard of it. And I don't watch TV, so I'm a movie kind of guy. And if I do watch a TV series or show, it's like I binge watch it after a few seasons. Because like if the TV show is only on for like a season or 2, I'm not wasting my time. But if it's on for a few seasons and it seems pretty good, I'll watch it.
It's got 3 seasons.
Yeah. I've never heard of it though. You said CBS, right?
It's CB, but we watch it on Netflix.
But I mean, how not grimy, but scary or intense can they get on TV and not cable or movies?
Bro, TV ain't quite the same as it used to be, man. It's a little gory on TV now.
Oh, damn. Okay.
It's very bloody, bro. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. If you like that kind of shit, that's kind of a show you might want to see. I think the screenplay and the setup of the show, the characters, is just different than anything you've ever seen. So just imagine if like The Exorcist met freaking what is the most haunted Amityville Horror and came to TV.
Yeah, that sounds just really evil.
Yeah, they call it evil for a reason, bro.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it just doesn't seem like my speed though.
Yeah, you might not like it, but all right, let's give
Like,
out.
because remember, I'm a John Wick nobody kind of guy.
Where have I heard that from? That's familiar.
What, John Wick or the movie Nobody?
Well, I didn't know you said John Wick, but I know the movie Nobody sounded familiar.
Yeah,
You haven't seen John Wick, bro?
Oh, I've seen
Better
it.
Call Saul, that dude.
Okay, yeah. Oh, we just saw that, man.
Yeah, that the Saul, he is nobody in those movies.
That was pretty good. That got us off guard. We gave that bitch a 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, I mean, so you obviously seen Breaking Bad then, right?
Of course.
Okay.
Hey, you
Just
know what?
checking.
I found Breaking Bad when I ain't have cable. My cable got cut off, and all I had was
the whole thing. I ain't even watched the whole series.
the whole fucking thing. We got it all in one. My girlfriend came and stayed the weekend with me. Man, we crashed out on the couch, man. We had a bunch of food cooked, man. It was a bomb, man. That was the best time, man. That's probably how we got close, man. Was through that. Watching Breaking Bad, my broke ass and have no cable. But yeah, man, let's give some pleasantries before we get out here, because I do need to go and do some domestic things, man.
All right, you go partake in your evils. Thank y'all for showing up and hanging out with us for Keds 53, as well as Nomad's comments and Sports Chicago Styles 53. We had a good look at what we think are probably going to go down, and I'll be honest about it. I think at least 3 of the people I saved are probably going to wind up on the practice squad, just so that they can go and find some other humanity out there to make a splash. I don't think, and I have to say it, so something we didn't really look at is the actual existing free agency guys who are still left out there and available and don't require any level of trade. One of those names is Zadarius Smith. There's a few others, so don't be surprised even if that's one of the moves that Ryan Post decides to make as a stopgap on that edge, if that's what he wants to do. But again, maybe we have a guy. There's some cornerbacks out there that might be of interest. You never know. So we'll have to wait and see what transpires between now and Thursday at midnight. Right? There should be. I expect there to be some madness between now and then, and we will discuss all of those things on Extra Sauce. So big shout outs to my guy Crimson. Huh?
We got a show to do Tuesday, man, because they're gonna. That's the roster cut down day, and Trips promised not to jump out ahead of you, because you won't be available until a little later on. We're gonna do a show when you get ready. So that one's kind of.
So what are we gonna talk about on Wednesday?
That's going to be the actual waiver claim day.
Yeah, that's claim days, and don't they start filling up the practice squad on Wednesday, I believe.
Yeah, they start doing put the whole team together.
Right, so there will be fresh new content on Wednesday that's not available on Tuesday.
Exactly.
All right, fine. Damn it, we'll do both. That's what it looks like. We're doing both. So yes,
what's wrong with you?
What's that?
I just told you this shit last night. What's wrong with you?
I'm telling the world what's up. That's what I'm doing. Because Crimson's like, there's a show on Tuesday and Extra Sauce on Wednesday. So I'm saying, yeah, there's both. We got both.
And also be aware that this Wednesday, MF in the kitchen time. So I coordinated with Chef Trips earlier when we were doing our 53-man and practice squad projections, and he's looking forward to being with y'all Wednesday. And once again, he apologizes for overcooking the egg. It's eating him up. He doesn't like that.
Hey, Trish, when we get done, man, send me a text tomorrow, man. Maybe I got something for you, what we talked about.
Okay.
Just make sure you contact me. I don't want to forget it.
Right on.
All right, man. But that's it for the pleasantries trip. I mean, we good.
Yeah, big up to all the No Maniacs, big up to all the Super No Maniacs, and the ones that are here in the chat with us live. Thanks for sharing and building and commenting and sharing your thoughts as well. It's a community group thing. That's why you are the maniacs of the Nomad Network. And also big up to the channel where baby Kids resides. We get those Zerberts at Kids the Canuck. As football season is starting up. So you fantasy heads, you fantasy freaks, if you will, Kids got you covered. So make sure y'all are signed up for that. What's up?
I said we'll get that super flex going, and I just want to give a little bit extra love to all the folks who came and checked out the show, the game on Friday, right at Kansas Canuck, right here on YouTube. It was a pretty large showing, and I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of love for that. Thanks, y'all. Respect.
Right. And then also a shout out to Nomad, who is building the community as the website is coming up. He's put up that picture of the merch there, Nomad, as we got different designs coming out. And check this out. None of that, well, not none of that, but some of this stuff, actual embroidery. None of that cheap silk screening, that comes off there like 2-3 washes. Yeah, this is going to be those nice joints. It looks like high quality, nice designs, different designs, customized to the content from the channel. So make sure you are supporting. And then also for the monthly support, the different tiers of membership, $1, or as Common said back in the day, can I borrow $1? $1. Because for 99 cents, you can support Nomad. You can support the content coming out from the Nomad Network. And it's a community thing. So we need the community support to keep it rolling. And then finally, my actual content channels, Sports Chicago Style. You can find all the branches from there of our tree of lifestyle and fitness, holistic living and all that good shit. So you got, Sports Chicago Style, you got Shea Trips with Chef Trips, you got Trip Kundo, all dropping. So we're trying to, bring out some positivity, some taste goods, some make yourself feel goods, all kind of things out there. Sports Chicago Style. Subscribe, check out the content. You'll see what I'm talking about. Much appreciated.
Appreciate that, man. That was great stuff there, Trips, man, doing the house cleaning, man. And we just grab a membership, man. The discounts for that merchandise, you only getting a little peek, a little look-see at to. It's going to be several more things in that website. Talking about several new logos. I'm talking about some nicely designed stuff that you're going to want. You're going to be glad you got that discount for becoming a member. Just letting you know ahead of time. We want to say thank you to everybody that supports us through that aspect of what we do. So grab that membership. It only costs 99 cents. Keep the Super Nomaniac memberships, all you guys that have them, and please get more of them, you guys. So I'm going to leave you guys and say thank you one more time for joining the show. This is a good time, but do not forget we'll be here Tuesday for cut down day, and we're going to see by that time we're talking about 48 hours. For another 24 to 48 hours before you see us again. There's going to be a lot more available to us, man. So I'm going to get greedy. I know that because there's going to be several guys I'm going to see that I want to have on this team. So just get ready for that, man. It's going to be a good show. And then again, Wednesday night, we got the chef in the house, man. He's going to do his thing. Going to have a good time for 2 straight days doing Nomad Network kinds of things, man. So I want to thank you guys one more time. But before we leave, I got to leave you with these famous words. If you can think it and you can see it, there's no reason in the world why you cannot absolutely manifest it. Do not, and I repeat, do not be a prisoner of your own mind. But with that being said, we are out.